The ultimate turtle junk everything.
Oh, we back, baby.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 3.
We are back and in action. Highly demanded episode 3. Had to come back even earlier than anticipated because the masses were demanding it. And what are we if not, servants to the people? So here we are again to film another episode of
The ultimate turtle junk everything.
I should have counted how many times we played that during episode 2 because I thought it was too many. But it was more than 2. It was just many.
Well, we'll try and find that perfect pocket tonight. We'll experiment a little bit. Rob, why don't you go ahead and tell the people who might just be joining us, have heard the hoorah, the hoopla, what it is that we'll be doing here tonight.
So today we will be trying to figure out the best of everything that ever was. We will be picking random Wikipedia entries and pitting them against each other in a battle to the death, or at least to the finish line. Between Mike and I, we pick which one we think would win. Some of these are weird, some of these are random, but all of them are a little new to you, to me, and to us. We will be picking these, like I said, at random. I haven't seen them before, he hasn't seen them before, and we're going to figure out which is the ultimate thing ever. For now.
Again, totally false. Rob, you're misleading the people. What we do is we shave a random symbol into the side of an entire field full of sheep. We interpret those as one would interpret tea leaves, and by those we get not only our topics, but also the evidence by which they'll be judged. We put them up against a panel, and one by one they're voted out. At the end of the week, we have a champion.
Wait, are you saying we're basically shaving sheep and reading them like tea leaves on Survivor?
Yeah. It's basically Shepherd Survivor.
I have so much work to do. I didn't even find a sheep or a shearer today.
And who was that, Rob?
That was, you can't prove that was from my house. Anyway, should we jump into round 1?
Round 1.
Do we have round 1 music?
We actually don't. That's the funny thing. All that I have is this wonderful, wonderful thing sent in by just a fantastic fan. Here we go.
The ultimate turtle junk everything.
Round 1.
Oh, round 1's just the intro plus you making it up. I like it. Okay, we have the El Talán district, one of the 10 districts of the province Piura in Peru, against B-Ram. B-Ram was an Indian politician and leader of the Communist Party of India. Okay.
All right. So 2 West Coast offenses facing off against another. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. And let's get right down to the field here. Looking at the El Talán district, frankly, for both of these, not a whole lot of information, but I can see one thing right off the bat, and this district was created by the law. There's a specific one, but I think being created by the law is just going to set a precedent, and we know they're going to play a disciplined game.
It's got a pretty cool coat of arms, though.
I like it.
That is pretty nice.
It's an open book in a field.
It is the elevation 75 feet above sea level.
Okay.
Let's see how B-Ram stacks up. Communist. Okay.
But everybody works together.
Well, in theory. Apparently he represented the Bajnath constituency from 1967 to 1972. He is currently deceased. Don't know much about when or how. Ooh. This article is about a Communist Party of India. It's a stub article, so there's more to it, but somebody else would need to make it, and that's not us.
All right. Well, sometimes you get surprised and you have a low-scoring affair. Who's going to punt, kick, and swipe their way to victory in this one? I think from the little that we have, I'm going to tend toward the district. I'm a big fan of districts. I'm a big fan of Peru and coats of arms. Yeah, that's my fashion sense. El Talon, you are my selection for round one in...
The ultimate tournament of everything.
You know, I gotta say, I thought this was gonna be closer between El Talon and B Ram, but I gotta agree. I gotta give it to El Talon. While B Ram, I'm sure, did some great things for the Communist Party in India. India is not a communist country, so the work he did must not have been that effective. So, El Talon, you are moving on.
In the Tournament of Champions of everything.
Of everything ever.
I'm not going to play it.
Okay, now I know there's round 2 music.
You want to hear it, though, don't you?
I know there's round 2 music, though.
It's time for round 2.
Oh, yeah, you got to love it.
Okay, in round 2, we have Quebec Route 364, which is a provincial highway located in the Laurentides region, against Fourth, which is the 4th album by rock band Soft Machine, released in 1971.
Wow. All right, so roads have fared very well in our competition to this point, but musical acts have also been quite successful. Route 364, very solid name, but Fourth, also a number. Let's dig a little bit deeper.
Now, if memory serves me right, the last road we had on here was proposed but never finished. So we have a finished route here for maybe the first time in the show's history.
Wow. Setting records right off the bat. It overlaps with Route 329 in Morin Heights and 327 from Weir to Arundel, which sounds very much like a mystical Tolkien-esque location.
I think it's just Canadian.
What's the difference, Rob? Speaking of Canadian, let's jump on over to discuss this rock band Soft Machine.
Not Canadian, British.
British, both under the Queen, so pretty much the same thing here.
That's not false. Now this is interesting. Their previous studio album was titled Third.
I like it. You got a pattern, you got a project, and they're kind of doing what we're doing, which is just trying to get through it, just surviving, living, and rocking.
It's interesting. They're listed as a rock band, but when you look at the members of the band listed as personnel, we have saxophone, piano, bass guitar / fuzz bass, and drums.
Well, little known fact about the Soft Machine is that some tracks have the band augmented by additional musicians. And according to my recollection, these include Mark Chirig and Nick Evans, who have been in the septet lineup of late, 1969.
Very, very late. Almost almost yesterday, 1969. I remember it like I read it in a book.
Being late is like a cardinal sin for a musician, though. You gotta have rhythm. And you know what keeps it moving? Quebec Route 364. I think given the two, the one that rocks a little bit harder is the route that can take you home. Quebec Route 364, you're my selection for this round in...
The ultimate tournament of everything.
What are you thinking, Robert?
Now, I know roads have a pretty good showing usually, but I gotta say, although well-maintained for most of its run, some of it is marked by severe gradients, tight curves, and it is also considered dangerous, which you could probably also say about Soft Machine.
They were jazzy.
Oh, this is tough.
No.
Their music development one of the first bands in the so-called progressive rock scene. So-called. I take offense to that so-called. Progressive rock was very progressive and rocky. I gotta go with you. I gotta give it to Quebec Route 364, but it's close. It is close.
So close that I've switched over in the meantime, and I'm going with fourth. That means that we have a tie, and we're going to have to run through our tie-breaking procedures, which means that we will be tightrope walking across this dangerous crevasse. The one to make it to the other side and survive will have their selection move on to the next round in the Tournament of Everything.
As usual, so close, and you almost had it right if you meant we pick a number randomly off Google from between 1 and 1,000. So close.
We're going to each take a guess, and the one that is closer, their selection will be moving on. Rob,
okay.
What is your number?
I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. Fourth. I'm going to go with 4, the number 4.
I'm going to go with 364.
Here we go. 394.
Hey, yo, Quebec Road 364. You're moving through to the next round in
The ultimate tournament of everything.
That was close.
Yeah, that was neck and neck. What an exciting fireworks blasting off in every direction.
Okay, for round 3, we have Oko Aryee, a Ghanaian football manager, against Klingon scripts, fictional alphabetic scripts used in the Star Trek movies and television shows to write the Klingon language. Okay, we got to tread carefully here.
It's time for round 3.
Oh, hang on. We got to play round 3 again. I totally forgot we had round 3 music. One more time.
3. It's time for round 3.
There we
You know
go.
what? I don't even care about the music this round. I am so excited to delve into the complex battle that's going to be laid out before us in this round.
Now, we got to be careful here. There is a very, very strong fandom here that knows a lot about some of what we're going to be talking about. They do write hate mail. They do show up to conventions. They do send emails. And, of course, I'm talking about the fans of Oko Aryee.
Take their football serious over there in Ghana.
They really, really do.
Well, let's see if we can get a little bit more information there, because the Klingon page, though in English, does have quite a bit of information.
There is a lot there. There is a lot. Is Klingon basically squares? Oh, I can't tell. Some of it looks like... Oh, that's wonderful. The one thing, the very first thing they translate is Heklmach Kwak Jajvam, which everyone knows what that stands for. That means today is a good day to die in Klingon.
Yes, indeed. Glory to you in your house upon your death.
Klingon's such a beautiful language.
And it's written really cool. It's all swipey and sharp, very much like the Batleth my geek is showing. But does it have too much going for it? Is it too loaded?
It's almost like if Metallica decided to make a language, this would be it.
Metallica ain't no Klingons.
That's true. I don't actually know.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm feeling my bias again. The Klingons, though, they're fictional. That is true. And there's nothing about, Oko Aryee is nothing if not real.
Real person. Head coach of the Ghana women's football team.
Still alive. Probably a better soccer player than you are, Rob.
Most people
You're better
are.
than me.
It's in the rank of soccer players. It goes from bottom to top. Babies, some goats, you, me, everybody else.
Yes, and atop that list is Oko Aryee. And you know what? I've never seen a Klingon play soccer. Don't know that they haven't. Don't know that they wouldn't. But I don't know if I can choose them in this round. So that means that I'm choosing Oko Aryee to move on in.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
I 100% agree. I think it's not even close. I think it needs no further explanation. Oko Aryee, you are moving on.
Yeah, Klingon language. Learn how to speak your way out of this competition. Oko Aryee, you are victorious.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Are you ready to move on to round 4?
The music scares me so much, but I'm ready.
Oh, no, we got different music this time. It's much nicer.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's time for round 4.
You lied to me. I've been tricked. Anyway, round 4, we have Arawa, a small pre-colonial animist-dominated state of the Dulul Mawari Valley of Niger, known for the indigenous Maori Hassa culture, against Asarum hartwigi, which is a species of wild ginger commonly known by the name Hartweg's wild ginger.
Nice. Endemic to California, grows in a forest habitat, and is a perennial herb.
Ooh, I do like me some ginger.
But Arway is a small pre-colonial animist-dominated state. That sounds awesome.
It does sound pretty cool. Traditional leadership continues a largely ceremonial reign in the 21st century.
Okay.
They host a yearly religious festival which draws both believers and foreign tourists.
Yeah.
It's like Disney World. It's probably exactly the same.
Yes. Except for a little bit less, I don't know, something. I'm trying to read here. I want to know the Arewa in Niger, and it's fascinating. Its name is simply a term meaning northern or northerners, and I think we can both relate to that, being from the northern areas of the country. And looking over at this ginger thing, heart-shaped, white-veined leaves, and a solitary flower near the ground.
Ginger has flowers?
This one has a single one. Just one, I bet you there are so many flowers in Arewa.
I gotta say, I've never really seen any part of ginger other than the root and the soda.
And the roots are what make you strong. That's why they feed root beer to children in schools.
When's the last time you've been in a school? Because they don't do that.
Don't they do that?
No, we don't give the children root beer.
Where was I getting all that root beer?
I don't know. I don't think it was school.
Oh. I should think about that sometime.
I have so many more questions. Anyway, moving on. This one, I think I really got to go. I have a soft spot in my heart for ginger. I really do. I love ginger ale. I love that they pull ginger ale out of the ground, like in those commercials that are really documentaries. It just comes right up by the root, and the can's right there, already ice cold and ready for drinking. I love that it's called Hartweg's Wild Ginger. There's some guy out there named Hartweg, because that's got a possessive S on it. Who discovered this ginger? This is my vote. You know what? I don't even think it's close.
Rob, you're securing your vote for Hartweg's Ginger in this.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
What's your vote, Mike?
Oh, I got to go with the ginger. And I'll tell you why. Because in the end, this fruit is a fleshy capsule containing many seeds. And that means potential. It means opportunity. It means growth. And it means that our Sawum Hartwegi, you are officially moving on to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
yeah.
Let's get into round 5.
Round 5.
Round 5.
Everyone knows round 5 is fighting time, and here we go. We have the list of ambassadors of the United Kingdom to Serbia against the dark horse of this round, the bearded wood partridge.
Ooh my.
I have been looking forward to this one since the bracket was announced, let me tell you.
Yep, indeed. Indeed. Just this moment. When I found out, I knew that this would be the one that I would be attending at this instant. So, the bearded wood partridge. Cute little animal. Looks like one of those dinosaurs with the super strong, head armor, but it's actually a very delicate bird.
Yeah, I think those are called feathers, Mike. Feathers.
They say that dinosaurs and birds are more closely related than dinosaurs and the lizards of today, Rob.
Dino nuggets, that's why they're made that way. Everyone knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Now go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, so Rob, what do you think about this beautiful bird?
Well, I think anytime you get a partridge, you need to spend some time figuring out where that partridge lives, and this partridge actually lives in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It's a discontinuous range in the central part of Mexico's Sierra Madre Oriental. Oh, that's kind of interesting. It forages on the ground, eats seeds, fruits, buds, tubers, and insects. Little is known about its breeding, but apparently between April and June, and the male makes a nest. Now that's pretty cool.
Now, if you want to know about people who have very well-known breeding, you can probably check out this list of ambassadors of the United Kingdom to Serbia. So looking through this list, I'm seeing a bunch of pretty well-to-do names here. Thomas de Grenier of Fontblanc. I see Gerard Francis Gould. I see all of these names that if I had a bird, but little Andrew Wood would be a cute name for a bird, wouldn't it?
It's almost like it was meant to be.
Now I'm torn. Sion McLeod.
Now, I will say it's been interesting watching the change in the list of ambassadors going from people who have been knighted, Sir James Whitehead, Sir Ralph Paget, Sir Ronald Campbell, to Brian Donnelly. They've lost some of their shine.
But even Excalibur needed to be polished from time to time. What doesn't need to be polished is the annual migration pattern, which is consistent, though not extensive, of the bearded wood partridge. As you can see, if you take a look on the Wikipedia page, it just goes up and down through this beautiful little, or that's their occupation place. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it looks like just, a small little area, not too far from the coast where they live. Seems like a great place. I think I would probably rather be there. I'm sure Serbia's great, but then in Serbia, and therefore I think I'm going to put down my button on the bearded wood partridge. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do it. You go ahead, Rob. What do you think?
You're not going to go with the partridge? I got to go with the
I'm going with the partridge.
Oh, and here's why. Listen to this partridge call. Listen to this.
Let me hear it.
Come on, give me that partridge call. Where are you? You click on the button. Here it is. That is music to my ears, as it is to everyone else's.
Wow. That sounded almost like a room full of ambassadors.
Okay, Mike, I think we both know where we're going here. I think we know who's moving on.
That's right. List of ambassadors of the United Kingdom to Serbia, go home, because the bearded wood partridge will be representing themselves in the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Man, I love me some bearded wood partridge.
delicious. Ah, delicious. And you can just grab them, pop them right in your mouth.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. They were listed as critically endangered, and now they're still actually kind of endangered. Don't eat them.
They're doing better.
Save the wood partridge. Save the wood partridge.
Save it for the next round. And tonight, the next round is...
Make the turnaround transfer. He comes around the right side. And there you have it. There is your winner. Round 6.
Did you film that at a horse track?
I did. I lost everything. But I had a really good time, and I made a friend.
I heard the galloping.
Yeah. You can hear it in the background. They run hard, but not hard enough to give me my triple victory. So I don't know what you call it, but I didn't win. That's probably why.
Anyway, if you have a gambling problem like Mike, you should call for help as well. In round 6, we have Narendra Nath Sengupta, Harvard-educated Indian psychologist, philosopher, and professor who is generally recognized as the founder of modern psychology in India, against Rock and Rye, a term for bottled liqueur or mixed cocktail composed of rye whiskey and rock candy.
Holy cow. Could there be 2 more different opponents facing off in the gauntlet that is...
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Let's take a look at Narendra, shall we?
Yes. Harvard educated, psychiatrist or psychologist, philosopher, and professor. Those are 3 consecutive impressive P's.
Which Harvard, Illinois, or the better one?
I am gonna guess the better one. But let's find out here as we dig into the article, the segments of it about her early life. Yes. She had rigorous and systematic exercise routines, which not only can...
Hang on a second.
I'm jumping apart.
You've picked a wrong person. You've picked a wrong person. The venerable Sengupta attended Harvard College from 1910 to 1913, during which he received his Atrium Baccalaureus, his Bachelor of Arts degree. He was a recipient of the Richard Manning Hodges Scholarship and a member of Phi Beta Kappa. Phi Beta Kappa represent! Don't get him confused. He also went to the University of Calcutta. He did a bunch of research, and he was at probably the coolest university I've never heard of, the University of Lucknow. That's right. Lucknow is a university.
But you don't need luck when you got liquor. And if you just take that liquor, just that rye whiskey and a little bit of rock candy, which you can make at home, or fruit for this matter, you got yourself a Rock and Rye. It's simple, it's refreshing, and it's a good source of water, sugar, glucose, and artificial coloring.
You know, I do wonder where I'm going to get my daily dose of artificial coloring, and it's good that I can get it from a Rock and Rye.
Now, if you've never made rock candy before, it's basically you take sugar, you dissolve a whole bunch of it, and then it magically attaches itself by magic to a string or a stick. And then when you come back in the morning, you've got yourself a sweet-looking candy stick, which then you can pour liquor on.
Now, I didn't know that we put candy in alcohol. That's a new one to me. Now, as someone who doesn't drink, I probably never would have noticed, but I'm kind of curious now what else I can mix with rock candy as a beverage.
I mean, I love me a good Mentos and Coke. Just at the end of the day, refreshing. Just a little blast of crisp. But I haven't really drank too much rock candy.
Well, I have good news for you. Because among non-alcoholic beverages, Rock and Rye continues to be a popular flavor of everyone's favorite soda, Faygo.
Ooh. Faygo. Ooh.
Totally forgot Faygo existed till 10 seconds ago. So, there, Faygo. There's your shout out. Headquartered in Detroit. Detroit, you got so many things going for you. You got Little Caesars. You got the Red Wings. You got Faygo. You guys should advertise that more, Michigan. What are you doing?
Come visit Michigan. We've got 3 or 4 things to see.
That's a good one. We should send that in.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks.
That could really compete with Cleveland, We're Not Detroit.
Well, you know who's seen 2 or 3 or 4 things?
Everybody?
Our friend Narendra
yeah.
Gupta. Very impressive resume, as has been stated. Multiple universities, multiple positions, lots of research, influence on curriculum, publications, anthropology. But you know what? Better than a drip, I love a good drink. Rock and Rye, I think I'm going to settle on you for this round.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Oh, I don't know. I agree with you, but at the same time, I feel like Narendra has done so many things, and I can't get the University of Lucknow out of my head. That's just such an awesome place to name.
They did not. Look, they give champions ice cream flavors and Faygo flavors, and I only see one of these that I can go and drink a Faygo of.
Oh, that logic is impeccable. I don't know how you ever lose an argument. Oh, I think we got to go to a tiebreaker. I think we got to.
Tiebreaker. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we know how this goes. We've done it before. Rob and I are going to climb to the top of this rope, which is lit on fire. The first one to save the damsel in distress from the place up there will have the right of choosing having their... Rob, tell him how we actually do it.
You'll have to excuse him. He's been drinking Rock and Rye ever since he learned they existed. We are going to pick a number between 1 and 1,000, and this is how much this matters. It is so critical that we pick the right one that we're going to leave it up to chance. Mike, what is your number?
My number is the mark of the beast. 661. 661. I choose 661.
The mark of the beast, Seth. And I am going to pick 2. I'm going to go with 2.
Okay.
Bold move.
Let's see this number.
315.
661, 315.
I think I win.
It's pretty close. You're 313 away. I got to do too much math. Rob, you have won, and we are moving
Narendra Nath Sen Gupta on
to the next round in
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Okay, Mike, here we go. We are in round 7.
Round 7, and I'll interject here to say that we got some wonderful fan mail in, including some fan art. This next blast was sent in from our fan to played at the beginning of round 7, and we're going to do just that right now. Get ready for round 7.
Round 7. Round 7. Round 7. Round 7.
I like round 7.
Yeah, it's funky.
That's a talented fan.
Yeah, I really appreciate them. I hope they send in more. Continue to. Next time, don't poison the brownies. All right.
It's way better than the crap you come up with. You should get that fan on.
Yeah, I know. They're probably smarter than me, too. And maybe they can read a Wikipedia page a little bit better on the fly as well.
In round 7, we have Anne of Bohemia, the Duchess of Austria, against Ace Basin National Wildlife Refuge, the Great Ace.
Ooh. Anne of Bohemia. I see.
Born March 27th, 1323, died September 3rd, 1338. While a duchess, she only lived to be 13.
She does not look psyched in the picture, but if I was only going to live to 13, look, I was always mean mugging it when I was 13. You'd be hard-pressed to find a picture of me smiling if I wasn't under duress at the age of 13, so...
Looks like she had a tough life. Had a younger twin sister who died at the age of 1. She never regained her health after they returned to Bohemia. Ooh, man.
Wait a second.
It's a rough go of it. But she is the younger sister of Charles IV, the Holy Roman Emperor, and Bonnie of Bohemia, the first wife of John II of France.
And she got married. She was married on 16th of February, 1335 to Otto, Duke of Austria.
It was her second marriage.
His
Second for Otto.
Yeah. A bunch of guys came a-courting. It's, they call it 2 failed betrothals, but I think she was too good for them.
She was also 7 when they got married. What the heck, people?
What?
Don't do this.
What? Round 7.
Let's move on to the Ace Basin National Wildlife Refuge. It can't be nearly as bad as whatever history that was. Anne of Bohemia. Ernest F. Hollings Ace Basin National Wildlife Refuge is an 11,815-acre portion of the larger Ace Basin area, and the only portions that are federally protected. The wildlife refuge is divided into 2 units, the Edisto River Unit and the Combahee River Unit. It is in what looks like South Carolina.
Yeah. South Carolina is very nice, but I'm not thinking this is the nicest part of South Carolina. You might say that it is the oh God, I don't want to say the Anne of Bohemia of South Carolina, but I just did. So I'm being honest. I'm looking at it, and they're showing me pictures of houses that look like they're from Forrest Gump. And they're showing me pictures of places that just kind of look like flooded. I'm sure it's great, but it looks like alligators.
Come on, what did Anne of Bohemia ever do to you? Nothing. She did nothing to you. She's a wonderful person who lived in a terrible time when we married off children to unite kingdoms that just couldn't stop fighting.
Okay, what I really meant is the life of Anne of Bohemia. She had it hard. She had a tough time. She's an underdog, and she came through victorious in the end, to whatever end, unfortunately at the age of 13. But that's why I am choosing her as my selection for this very round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
because frankly that basin is not too impressive to me.
I mean, the basin looks cool. I guess that's fine. But I gotta give it to Anne of Bohemia. You had a rough go of it, and this should be a bright spot for you. When you look back, you'll remember you won this useless competition that you will never hear about.
Which is
Congratulations.
called
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Okay, that was depressing. Let's get into round 8.
I say, would you by chance have any round 8?
Round 8!
Round 8 sounds like the sound you make when you scratch a screen door.
nah, it's straight metal, brah.
In round 8, we have Lethrinops longimanus, a subspecies of cichlid endemic to Lake Malawi, against augolite, an aluminum phosphite mineral.
Now, I get excited about just about every competition that we have here, but I am thrilled to see these two face off in the arena that is this competition.
I have been waiting for a rock to fight a fish since day one.
Now, this Lethrinops longimanus, it can grow to a length of 15.3 centimeters, which is pretty good for a cichlid endemic to Lake Malawi.
Now, cichlids are really interesting fish, studied a lot, got a cool name, and, it's a cool looking fish. Also, if you get a picture, pretty neat. And least concern, this thing thrives. You cannot bring Lethrinops longimanus down. No way.
It's very interesting looking fish. It's a cool fish.
Now, if we look at augolite, first described by Christian Wilhelm Blomstrand for an occurrence in Vastania iron mine in Scania, Sweden in 1868, derives its name from the Greek that I cannot pronounce in reference to its pearly luster that I can pronounce.
Nice. Yeah, it's got a beautiful green. It's sharp and pokey. Nice crystal formations. In and amongst other looks like quartzy type of things. Yeah, it's neat. Nice green. Very cool. I would put it right on par in awesomeness with this fish. And that is the beautiful thing about these competitions.
It has a 4 on the Mohs hardness scale. I mean, come on. It's got a transparent definity. It's got a white streak. Specific gravity of 2.696. Come on. There are just so many great things.
This fish is almost a transparent. It does have fins. It doesn't need to worry about gravity because it can swim. That's why I'm deciding I'm putting my vote on Lethrinops longimanus. You are a fish amongst men, and my choice for this round.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
You know, I was going to give it to the rock. I really was, because who doesn't love a good rock? But what's going to secure it, I think, for Lethrinops longimanus is that it is found in deep water. 50 to 70 knot is free units down. In Freedom Feet, that is something bigger.
Yeah.
The fish moves on.
Our lungs were burst, but you burst our hearts. You're going on to the next round in...
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Let's get into round 9.
Have we made it to round 9 already?
The final round, round 9.
It's about time for round 9.
Round 9.
I love that. Which fan sent that in?
Yeah, that was sent in by the very same fan that did the first one. They're great, and I hope they continue to send them in because, hey, if you do it, I don't have to, and you make it sound a whole lot better than I do.
Okay, in round 9, the final round, we have list of official residences of Australia against list of top country album number 1s of not any year, not all the years, just the year 2001.
Wow. And this is random. This happened completely randomly, that we got a list against a list. Is this correct? I just want to make it clear for all of our many listeners.
Entirely random. If I were planning it, I would have put the country music list earlier during the country music intro we got from that random fan.
Wow. Okay, so this is one where we'll be able to really dig into the meat, the nitty-gritty of what makes these lists list-worthy. Where shall we start, Robert?
We got to start down under. We got to go to Australia.
So literally, this is just a list of official residences. So this is where the king, not the king, the prime minister lives. Governors.
They have a queen, Mike. They have a queen.
Yeah. Well, they had a queen. I don't know if they still don't. Don't they kind of run everything, though? I mean, who are we kidding? We got pyramids with the eye on our money and stuff. That's the queen, right?
No, that's the aliens. Anyway, Australia. We have the Government House of Canberra. We have the Admiralty House in Kirribilli. We have the Lodge, also in Canberra. And we have Kirribilli House in Sydney. Now, for all of our Australian listeners, of which I know there are many, I'm going to pronounce all those incorrectly, and you can definitely send in audio clips telling me how to do it the right way. I am not Australian. I'm just a dumb American, and for that I apologize.
So, lots of great places to hit if you're ever visiting Australia. But if you want to really talk about hits, you got to talk about the list of top country album number 1s from 2001. Now, as everyone knows, I'm not telling tales out of school. This was the year for country music in 2001. So, looking just over this list, big, huge names like the Coyote Ugly soundtrack, the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack, the Coyote Ugly soundtrack again, and then later twice, 3 times, 4 times, a lady, the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack again. It couldn't be beat until at the end Garth Brooks came in and One was Scarecrow at the end of the year.
Who's that guy? Garth Brooks. Come on, who's he? In country music, who is Garth Brooks? Like, come on. Probably a dude with a hat.
Probably a dude with a hat. Let's look. Let's dig in here. I'm going to go ahead and look. Well, he's not wearing a hat in this picture. So that is undetermined.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, but looking at this, the list of top country album number ones of 2001 does mostly consist of the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack.
Almost entirely, actually, oddly enough. How does that gotta feel? You spend your whole life, making country music. You get out there, you get your first big hit of that year, and then all of a sudden, here comes George Clooney with a stupid movie where they think somebody turns into a toad, and you're off the list. Ain't that a kick in the pants?
But you know what? You can live with this music. You can let it live inside of you. And none of these residences on this list of official residences of Australia would let us live inside of any of them.
No, hang on. Before you say that, you go look on that page under State and Territory, Government House, Norfolk Island. You go over Residents of Administrator of Norfolk Island. You hover over that hyperlink and you look at that picture and you tell me that is not the most glorious thing you've seen today.
I can tell you that's not the most glorious thing I've seen today.
What?
Looks like
It's a lion fighting a kangaroo.
They're friends. They're working together, carrying anchors. They're having a good time. The kangaroo is sticking its tongue out, or the lion is sticking its tongue out at the kangaroo. They're joshing around. They're good friends. Look at the ribbons coming off of the helmet up there. It's a party. It's an anchor party. And the motto attached to this very emblem that you're having me look at is, inasmuch. I don't know how I feel about that.
I love that.
I kind of love it too.
Okay, we got to pick. We got to pick a winner.
Well, then I have to say, list of country top albums, number ones of 2001, which mostly consists of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Do not seek the treasure, because I am voting for list of official residences of Australia. What do you think, Rob?
List of country top album number ones. You are number 2.
Number 2 in
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Okay, well, there we have it. 18 random things picked at random, put against each other in a way that makes no sense, has no order, and has no reason. We are now to the end of that little journey.
We really had some interesting ones tonight.
It's always fun when we can put a rock against a fish.
Have you ever been between a fish and a rocky place?
Technically, anytime I'm on the beach, I guess.
Have you ever had a Rock and Rye at a fish place?
I don't even think I've ever had a Faygo. But look how much we learned.
Enough to go and get me a Faygo. Whoop, whoop. See you next week on
The ultimate tournament of everything.